Hello everybody, it is me, Darcy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the podcast number 85. Suck it, Kris, you're an idiot.
Fuck, it's counting now.
No, I just fucking know everything. But not everything.
No, I disagree with knowing everything, but okay.
And before we get started, Kris, I want to talk about a crazy idea. How about a standing podcast?
A standing podcast?
So what we do, right, is you stand up and then we do the podcast.
So you're going to sit down, I'm going to stand up.
Oh, someone has to control all the mechanics. I can't do that while standing.
That's just weird. Well, you could do it while standing.
I would enjoy my time. Yes, welcome back. As always, this is the Unnamed Podcast where me and him, Darcy and Kris, sit here for about a time, and talk rubbish, generally. Crazy thoughts.
Especially that
Chris's
thing.
weird hair. My hair that's been, like, super weird today. I put a hat on.
Fucking super weird, eh?
I put a hat on, and it's just, like, been like, yeah, now you're like an 80s businessman. Off you go.
I washed my hair, that's why it's like this. I don't know why.
Yeah, so let's get things started as we often do with
Yes.
channel news. Kris, what's been happening in the channel this week?
So, Monday, it was our Hitman run, where I couldn't see what Darcy was doing beforehand, so I went into it completely blind.
Very correct.
And it was interesting.
Yeah, so
Probably one of the least violent ones we've had, though.
that's
Hence
because
the name states.
there was no need to be violent in that one.
I did go to be violent in the first round.
However,
Yeah.
you died like twice,
Twice?
maybe 3 times.
No, that doesn't sound right.
In something
Twice
where
sounds right. 3, no.
something where you did not have to even engage with enemies.
It's
At
true,
all.
but
Yeah, a little bit.
technically, the first time I didn't engage, they started shooting first.
To be fair, that first time you were also caught.
Trespassing.
Yes.
Yeah. Having said that, I would left the property. By the time I left, I was being shot.
Yeah, but you were in a suburban neighborhood. Their motto is shoot first, ask questions later.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Hitman came out. In that one, we do a escalation all about thievery.
Yes.
And, yeah, I don't think I got shot at once, but somehow Kris managed to get shot at and killed multiple times. And then even in one where he didn't get
Saying
killed,
multiple makes it sound worse than it
you
was.
were shot at multiple times.
Yes, but it was only like twice.
No, you only died twice. You were shot at like heaps of times because it takes
there was
many
that other
bullets
time,
to
yeah.
die.
Yeah.
But then there was also the time where you were shot at and you didn't die, but you did ventilate a wall.
I don't remember that one.
That was your second attempt at the third time. At the third escalation. There was a guy, you walk into a room, he's standing there, you go, bang, 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 I think he's warned now. And then he goes, holy shit, shoot you. And you're like, oh, well, that didn't work out.
No, it didn't work.
And then you shoot him, and then you run away like a coward.
Did what I was meant to do.
I didn't get shot at.
I don't care.
Yep, so that came out on Monday.
It did. Did indeed.
And that's a very... I think that's how I want to do a lot more of the Hitman stuff now.
Yes.
Just because... Like... Well, it doesn't really
Keeps
matter.
me guessing a little more.
The other way we can do it, and I think that's the way... Like, it's the same kind of principle, except done with a little bit more thing, is you do your run-through, then I'll do my run-through.
Well, yeah.
That way we're both there for both of them. But you still don't get to see my run-through.
Yeah, fair.
Before already having done your run-through.
Makes sense, it'll
Yes,
work.
it works. But it was a good experiment, and I quite enjoyed the outcome. It was, as I was doing all the editing, I was like, no, Kris isn't doing too bad. No, he's not doing... And then I was like, yeah, no, Kris is doing terribly.
Yeah. He's not doing jail, hang on. Yes.
Yep, so
too soon.
that was Monday. What came out today, Kris?
Today was Spyro.
Today indeed was Spyro.
Is this the last part of that game yet?
No, this game's probably going to be broken into 6 parts.
And what part are we up to?
This is part 4.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
If everything goes according to plan, it'll be 6 parts, hopefully. Kind of depends on how long each of these missions takes, because some of them I can kind of get through pretty quickly.
True.
But some of them, like, well, technically speaking, I still actually have to unlock the head knock, head charge, head barrel roll, head breaker, and then go back and do 1 or 2 missions. I can't remember the number. There's definitely one mission that it's 2. Yeah, I've got 2 missions to still technically finish off. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I might unlock the ability to go back and do them first thing, or I might kind of do them at the end of the final part, depending on how much I manage to actually
because
how
that's
long
only
it's
collecting
taking.
stuff.
Yeah, because that's just finishing off the missions. It's like literally just 100%ing the missions. So I'm like, maybe I'll finish off, and then like at the end of the last part, once I've finished the game, or like, because I don't know how long it's going to take. Because there's also the whole Dragon Shores thing, so maybe I'll do Dragon Shores in 1 mission. Who knows at this point? Not me, which is kind of concerning considering I'm the planner and doing everything. It's like I say with most of the channel, when I say I don't know, it's kind of like, oh, well, this is going to be a surprise to everyone.
That's what we want.
Yeah. But yeah, that one's coming out. Definitely. Yeah, it definitely took me a while to remember how to do that boss fight. I'm not going to lie.
Which one was that?
The Gulp one. The Gulp boss fight. It's fucking ridiculous. I think they may have messed it up a little bit when they remastered it, because I do not remember it being that difficult. Well, actually, I don't remember it being that difficult last time I played the remaster, but I really don't remember it being that difficult when I played it back in...
I'm just not remembering the fight.
It's just a classic. You're in a circle and you're fighting one of his henchmen, and you've got to... The worst part was you're sitting there waiting for fucking things to drop so that you can actually damage him.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure they overdid the homing on his rockets. Yeah. So it's like the only way that you can avoid them, and I do not think this was in the original game, was to kind of stand still until they were launched, move, like take a step in one direction, and then it would like swing out that way, and then you just turn the other way and it would like land harmlessly. But if you were charging at full speed in a direction, it would like literally just follow you perfectly and land directly on top of you. Like in that video, I think I get hit by 2 that kill me almost instantly, because I'd already gotten hit by him, and then it was like I got hit by 1. You know how there's like that brief invincibility frame?
Oh, yep.
Well, but I was still stunned when that passed, and then the second one landed directly on top of me. So it was like, shit. Oh shit! And it was a bit of a BS fight, but
it makes sense.
Yeah, as I said, probably the worst part about it though is that you, like, in the first boss fight of the game, you're literally just avoiding flaming, and then Whereas in this one, you're literally waiting for.
You're avoiding, waiting for stuff to drop, picking it up, then trying to attack. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like depending on your luck, you might get something that's actually useful, like the rockets, which you can pick up in your mouth and then like run at him and get a good shot on, or you might get something completely useless like the barrels, which you have to headbutt at him, which means you have to do a lineup while being shot at by motherfucking green orbs of doom, and then headbutt, and then there's a chance that you won't hit it right, so it might go off course, or it just won't reach him because it doesn't have the distance.
Yeah.
That's like bullshit. But yeah, so that's what's come out this week. Subscriber count, Christopher.
We're up 6.
We are now at 86.
Yes. Thank you, guys. This would be our biggest week so far.
I'm not sure if it's 100% the biggest week, but it's definitely the biggest since our consistent growth.
Okay, fair enough.
I think there may have been a week sometime back in the past where we got about 15 in a week, but that was very much a one-off kind of situation.
Yeah. Either way, it's good.
Always
more and more people joining.
The constant growth. Yep, it is good. It is good.
Getting a few more comments here and there.
Yeah,
which is good.
You know, as I always say, we always appreciate it. We always like the engagement. Often, like, if we will like a comment or respond to a comment if it's like asking a question or anything. But a lot of the time, we just like the comments because a lot of the time it's just people being like really, really genuinely nice and being like, "Hey guys, love the podcast," and it's like to respond to that in any way kind of seems like a little bit of up ourselves-itude.
Yeah.
And that is something that I refuse to do. Because after all, as I've like stated in the past, for me this channel is just, it's almost like a channel where you guys can just hang out with us, listen to us talk shit. It's like hanging out with your mate.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hopefully not your most annoying mate, but definitely an annoying mate.
Yeah, he's almost got it.
Tell me about it. I have to hang out with Kris all
Fairly
the time.
annoying.
Yeah, so that's the releases for this week.
Yeah.
What else have I been doing? Well, Satisfactory is completely edited, so the first episodes of that are ready to go.
Nice. That's good. It's good.
So you'll probably be seeing episode 1 of that next week. Me and Kris will probably do some filming tonight. Maybe a Mario Kart. Maybe something quick and easy. Mainly because I don't want to spend too much more time with Kris tonight than I have to. Mainly because mainly because it's mainly because it's like that time of year and I'm a little bit sick and I don't really want to expose Kris to it for too long. Plus, I'm just like really not in the mood.
Fair.
Anyway, enough complaining about that. So yeah, we'll do something quick and easy tonight. Because I'm trying to think. I have others. I'm editing. Well, I've also spent like the week editing. I say week. Yesterday, editing Minecraft.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And boy, let me tell you, if this Minecraft is anything to go off, Minecraft is definitely going to become a staple on this channel because just editing this was pretty funny to me. Like, because we obviously filmed this separately. Well, actually, you guys have no idea about it. We filmed this one separately.
Yeah, we did.
So I really only saw what Kris was doing when he was interacting with me, and Kris only knew what I was doing when I was interacting with him.
True.
So I got to see a lot of Kris's stuff. Kris hasn't yet seen any of my stuff, but once the video comes out, you'll see that. And I know I said this about the raft a long time ago and haven't really done it, but that's because the raft is a little bit different. Like it's a wee bit different. Most of the time in the raft, we're actually working together. Like we might go and do something different, like individually, for a small amount of time. Like you might go onto an island while I stay on the raft. However,
normally it's me just looking for stuff as well. So it's
that's kind of like, oh, we'll show what Kris is doing because I'm literally just doing like busy work on the raft.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with this Minecraft is, I've edited as best I can.
Yeah.
With my attitude being like, I want to show what's happening, but sometimes you miss stuff because stuff's happening at the same time.
True.
And so I've done that to the best of my ability, and I'm definitely thinking that this is definitely the one where it's like, here's Kris's unedited footage, where it's just When I say unedited, of course it's going to be edited. We're going to cut out all the crap that's not necessary, but it's like, here is the full episode with all of the audio and everything, but just Kris's viewpoint. So you can see what Kris is doing all game, and then here's mine. Now, for this one, it's actually kind of funny because there were a few points. Again, with all of this stuff, I kind of main camera mine because it's a little bit easier to main camera mine because I know what I did. So it's like, I know if it's like, I did something here and I think that's worth showing, versus I can actually then just watch through yours and see like, oh yeah, this is really good, I'll take this, and I wasn't doing anything important there at the time. It just makes editing a lot easier to main camera the one that I know what's happening.
True.
But like, there was a few points in mine where, because of what I'm doing, my screen is just black. But
that makes sense actually.
But then there's like, and so we cut to you. But like, I was just like, there's actually so much that we're both doing that like, this makes a lot of sense. Because we're not like on the raft where we're like, you're upstairs and I'm downstairs, so it's like, oh, do you want to see what we're doing? Kris is upstairs steering and I'm downstairs tending a garden. So we've shown you Kris's. and only really cut into mine if I say something that preludes to something I'm doing on the screen.
Yeah.
But no, with this one I was like, if this is any indication of how the Minecraft will go, and I think it is, because it's literally, a lot of what I'm doing is literally how I play Minecraft original.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, if this keeps going, I definitely want to be able, I want to put out both views as well. I don't know how I'll do it yet. Like, it might be they come out on the same day as the Minecraft, or maybe like I just chuck one of them out supplementary, like on the day the podcast comes out.
Okay.
So it's this isn't an actual video. If you've seen the Minecraft, you've already seen this. This is just that episode from this perspective. So that episode, it's the same episode. It's just, or you get to see all the stuff that didn't make the edit from this person's perspective, and then the other one. But the truth is, that Minecraft, it was a long edit. I'm not going to lie about that.
I can imagine.
It was quite a long edit, because I had 2 hours of footage, one which I knew pretty well, but I also knew I was doing things that should definitely be in the video.
Yeah.
And one that I pretty much had to scout through and be like, oh god, please don't be doing something entertaining at the same time as I'm being a dickhead. But no, I really like editing that. I was literally sitting there last night as I was finishing up the edit at about 1:30, and I was like, I definitely think this is one where having both those, like having the option to, like, here's the full video, watch that. That's the big takeaway. But if you were like, oh man, that looked really cool, but I really want to see what Kris was up to that entire time.
Yeah.
Bang, there's the Kris video. Oh, what was Darcy doing when we were looking at Kris's screen? Bam, there's the Darcy video.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it was mostly digging and being in the dark.
Yeah, that's what happens in that game.
Yeah. But
so I tend to take torches with me. Tend to.
But yeah, no, I was watching that episode, and I like, even editing, like, usually when I'm editing, I get one or two giggles. I was like, that was a pretty good joke. Or, yeah, okay. Or if it's a really good video, like, I'll be like, okay, that's a short. Definitely that's a short.
Yeah.
But with this one, I was sitting there, and there were points where I'm just pissing myself laughing because, and it comes back to what we were talking about last week in the podcast about me, you know, the way I play games and how I just kind of tune out, and how I'm basically a giant toddler when I tune out.
Yes.
And there are points where I am just tuned out. Like, I'm not, I can't even remember some of the stuff.
Many points.
But and I'm like, I'm just having a go at you and then just doing other stuff. Yeah. At one point, I have a go at a sheep.
I don't remember that.
Yep. I question why his validity as to why he is here.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a really funny one to watch back, and I was like, oh man, there's probably about at least 3 or 4 shorts in that video that will take it, and, like, truth be told, there's probably like about 1 million shorts I could make from that video. I could turn the whole thing into shorts.
True.
But I would much prefer people to come and watch the whole thing, because some of the jokes are incredibly funny. Some of them are only funny in situ.
Yeah, well, yeah. That was definitely a fun episode, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, and that's what I said. And
it should escalate from here.
If Minecraft stays like that, and the thing was, like,
and it undoubtedly,
there was no like, a lot of people go like, oh well, you know, the reason that it got to that was because you were both blah blah blah. No, that was the only thing we recorded that day.
Yes, it was.
I was fresh as fuck going into it.
What the fuck was I doing?
But we were messaging Caleb, because, like, in the video, there's literally points where I'm talking to Caleb, and I'm sending messages to Caleb being like, oh, yep, we're playing, Caleb wants to know if 6:30 is good, bro.
Oh,
because that's like literally what he sent me.
That's
right. We're like, yeah, he sent me the same message. Anyway, so much is happening in that video. And then, but, like, the points that I just kind of go off the rails are literally points where I forget what I'm doing. And I give myself a task. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And then I get distracted, start messing with you, and then I'm like, halfway through messing with you, I'm like, oh, that's right, I'm doing this. And you're like, what the fuck?
So, Jesus Christ.
And then I just walk off and go do what I want. And then I come back and continue messing with Kris. And so, like, yeah.
I rebuild so often.
I think I only really did 2 things in that entire video. Like Kris is on point. He's got shit he's doing. He's getting stuff done, and I'm just like kind of like doing stuff, important stuff, and then just being like bloop, 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 and then just being a menace. And you know, I do actually believe that's the way Minecraft is going to continue on, because that's, again, as I said, that's who I am in that game. It's like, because I can, and even when I'm like trust me, I've spent a lot of time in Minecraft. I've built like a very sizable cityscape in that game.
Yeah.
Which even in creative mode takes a fuck ton of time. However, I can only stay focused for about 30 minutes at a time. And then I just get bored being focused, so I go and do other things. Yep. And so if, I definitely want to see more Minecraft, because depending on how well this video does, and I'm thinking it's going to do well. As I said, I'm going to get some shorts out of it. Hopefully they translate to the kind of viewership we like to see.
Do I swear as much as I think I did?
You do?
Okay, yeah. You realised it when you put those shorts out the other day?
What, that you were swearing?
Yeah.
I'm aware.
And then the amount of swearing, I'm like, oh, I don't notice that I'm doing it. Yeah. It just happens.
Yeah. See, that's like a faux pas. They're like, oh, don't put shorts out with swears, and it's like, how much money do you actually make off a short?
Who knows?
But yeah, so that's almost edited. So I'm hoping to have that finished. And I think there's some other stuff I've got to do. Like, I still have, like, technically in the editing backlog, I have a fuck ton of stuff to do.
We did a bit over the last few weeks.
We did.
Yeah.
But, like, I still have stuff from, like, as I say, Christmas time, which I'm supposed to be editing.
Oh, yeah.
Which I
actually did think about that.
I just keep forgetting about it, because it's so far back. And I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, every time I clean up my video drive, I'm like, I need to finish editing that. And I was like, but I've just done a whole day worth of edit. I don't really want to do that right now. And then I forget about it again. But yeah, no. So depending on what tomorrow holds, I'll be editing the podcast like I always do.
Yes.
And maybe chucking on the next Minecraft filming, because obviously, if we can get, I kind of want to get into a semi-regular Minecraft thing. We haven't figured out that yet, but if we can get into a semi-regular recording of Minecraft, we should have stuff going.
True.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to this week. I'm trying to think of what I did on Monday, but I might have just been editing that Spyro, because that was a long edit as well.
Fair.
Mainly because, well, Spyros aren't that bad to edit, but
no, generally not.
I can't remember when I can't remember what I was doing. For some reason, it was just a rather draining day for me. It could have been because I was just quite sick, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Not me.
But yeah, no, that kind of, as I said, that's where we are. That's the channel as it is at the moment. Made a few updates to the channel page. That was
okay. I haven't seen it.
It just kind of changed the kind of mission statement. It's almost exactly the same, except I've just swapped the parts over. So it's
okay.
Like because it's always just kind of explained that the channel is like a nerd channel, but I've changed it to be more like focused on us. So I've taken the bottom parts and made them the top, like the parts that was like after. If you read it, you'll read it and you'll be like, it's more about him and Kris than it is about what you'll see on the channel. Whereas in the past, it was what you'll see on the channel, less about us. But if I've come to one realization, it's videos tend to do better the more of us is in it.
True.
Because that's kind of what we're selling here. Hey, welcome to the cult. No, but like that's the truth. Like,
no, it makes
we're not
sense.
great at video games.
No.
We're not giving you. We're not giving you tips and tricks.
We're not great at video games. We're decent at them. Better when we're not recording. Well, I definitely do better in gaming than when I'm not recording. I tend to screw up a lot more when we are recording.
Like, my whole point is that with that one, it's kind of like We're not out here just like making video game content. We're not like we're not like sitting there being like, oh, here's how you speed run a Minecraft.
No,
like, we're
more
selling.
than likely never do that.
We're literally sitting there being like, hey, yeah, this is us playing Minecraft. Sit down and why don't you play Minecraft as well and listen to us be idiots? And for a small fraction of your day, pretend you're being social with a couple of guys that are gonna like you, or maybe not. Maybe you're not like us at all, but welcome.
We don't know. You know, we don't.
We don't care. I mean, as long as you're here to have a good time,
Pretty
that's
much.
what we're here to do.
Yeah.
As a wise person once said to me, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
It gets thrown around a lot. I don't know who told you though.
It was Casey, the first shift I ever had at Bunnings, and I took that to heart, and that's why I wasn't there a long time.
It's true. However, she still is.
Yeah, but I think that's more her outlook to her shifts.
It's true.
She's not there to get shit done or stay overtime. She's there to, I don't know, sit on a computer. I don't fucking know what she does.
Yeah. Special orders.
Pretty much. But yeah, I think that just wraps about channel news as it needs to be stated for today. So that kind of catches you up on everything we're doing, gives you a little bit of an idea of what's coming out in the next couple of weeks. I feel I have a bunny man to edit, and I say I feel I have a bunny man to edit because I kind of repress those.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You've now reminded me of it. We did play that.
Yeah, so there might be a bunny man coming out soon, depending on
if he gets around to it. If it's anything like last time, actually not last time. That one time where it just sat there for however long.
It did sit there for however long. It was one of those things where I was sitting there and I'm like, I've got to edit this bunny man. But it was like a 2-hour video and I'm like, that's terrifying. I don't want to.
Oh, it's rough. It is rough.
I will say it is easy to edit them now that we are forcibly making them smaller. But yeah.
Here we are. We do go over it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
but it's generally a run or two. It's like one more run, and then we fuck up that run royally. It's like I get one more decent run, pretty
much. But yeah, so stay tuned. More stuff's coming out.
Yes, indeed it will.
And soon, hopefully, I'll have my normalness back and not be sick. But hey,
yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be nice. Moving right along. So last week, Kris, we talked about Assassin's Creed Shadow because the cinematic trailer
came out
was dropping
later that night or early morning.
Technically, for us, it was the next morning. I got the message when it was like, go check out the new Assassin's Creed video, and I was like, yeah.
So I got that early morning, but it had already been out for like 10 hours, so I believe it was late night.
I got it like 2 in the morning, so yeah, technically.
Because I think when was it? I went on break. Oh, yeah, it would have been early morning.
It might have been. It was sometime between 2 and 4 in the morning. Because I remember getting the message and being like, get fucked. I don't care that much.
I'm pretty sure it was like I went on break at 11:30, and then I looked at my phone like, hey, this, and then I'll just watch the video, which came out like 10 hours before. So technically it came out before that.
Yeah. But,
but there was already videos
so,
out.
Yeah, let's just chat about that quickly.
Yeah.
We'll start, well, I'm going to give my opinions on it. I kind of have 3 categories. I've got the good, what I really liked about it. The average, this is stuff that I was like, it was okay, but it also had a negative, and then I've just got the bad.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought I'd start things off with the good.
Well, of course, yes.
There was absolutely nothing about this trailer that I was like, 100%.
Yeah,
brilliant.
The trailer didn't really... I like the concept of it.
Okay.
But that's it's about it. I didn't really get too much out of it.
No, I watched this trailer and there was absolutely nothing in it that made me go 100%. Yes, this is it.
No, I think we've got to wait for a gameplay trailer.
I don't think a gameplay trailer will do it either. There will be nothing in a gameplay trailer that I haven't seen before.
True.
And this is just going to compile to my overall not my overall impression of the game. But I'll continue. Let's move on to the average parts.
Yes.
So the average parts, 2 characters, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Why is that average?
Pretty standard.
Love it. I love the fact there's 2 characters. I hate the way it's employed.
Yeah.
I would much prefer, if you're going to give us 2 characters, actually make us choose one.
Yeah.
And then have the game play slightly differently depending on who we've chosen. You have 2 archetypes there. Make us choose one. Give us a few like bonus missions for that character only. Give us a reason to want to play them both. But this whole thing where it's like, oh, you can switch at any time. I'm not a big fan of that because...
No, I mean, they did it in Syndicate.
That's my thing. They did it in Syndicate. And do you know how often I used it in Syndicate?
Oh, never.
Only when I was forced to.
Yeah.
Because I played Evie. Why did I play Evie? Because she was the stealth one.
Yep.
And that is how I play those games. So I used her stealth and her stealth-focused abilities.
Yeah.
Because that's how you play an Assassin's Creed game. I didn't like the fact that I had to swap between them. I didn't like, I was like, I'd much rather have played this game entirely from one perspective and just, choose one. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate wouldn't have played different for either of them, really. It just would have been like, oh, you're slightly stealthier assassin, you're a slightly brawnier assassin. Yeah. But, like, the story would have been exactly the same because they're literally just 2 people doing exactly the same stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I really don't like that. I would have preferred more the I say more the Alexio, Cassandra way, where it's like you pick one. But again, that story didn't change too much until you got to the DLCs. But even in that point, it's kind of like, okay, so blah blah blah. Here's a little bit of change in the story.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just think that's a real big waste. If you're gonna have 2 characters, at least kind of. The switching characters, I think the epitome of that was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Where you had 3 characters you were constantly switching between, and, like, when you weren't playing them, they were, like, programmed to be doing other things, so if you switched back, it seemed like they were living a life, not just sitting in their house waiting to be switched back to. But, even then, you end up playing as one character more than the others. For me, that was Franklin, because he was young and cool.
I didn't have the same reasoning, but I believe that was who
the other 2 were an old guy who had a family that was really annoying and a psychopath.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I was like, we'll play with Franklin and live up in the Hollywood Hills.
And you were like, well, let's try something new. It'll be Franklin and not a psychopath this time.
Yeah, and just for me, in all honesty, with Grand Theft Auto 5, I played a lot as Franklin because he was morally the best. He wasn't as bad as the other 2.
No, that is true.
Because Michael had his rage issues and Trevor is just Trevor. So I was like, I'm gonna play as Franklin because at least then
you feel better about yourself.
It's yes, I'm a criminal, but
not as bad as those.
Yeah, I know some guys who are way worse than me. And then I would, if I do the Grand Theft Auto thing of just going on a massacre, I'd switch to Trevor because I didn't want to dirty Franklin's hands.
Oh, okay, fair. That makes sense.
But yeah, no. So that was the whole reason. But that was the epitome, and even that is it was cool for some of the missions. I will say that, having to switch to them to do certain parts of the mission. Cool. Yeah. That's how you use the element. If you're gonna have that in your game, that's how you do it.
It's true.
But I will say that just outside of it, it was more of a tedious chore than really anything useful.
It's true. It's fair.
Cool. So let's move on to my second point. Open world. Again, average. Good and bad. Open world, I think that's going to be the best way to explore the feudal Japan that they give us.
Of course, yeah.
Apparently it's a massive map, which is where the bad comes in.
Yeah.
It's Ubisoft. Ubisoft make massive maps full of nothing. I'm sure there'll be missions to collect flowers or something, and you can just walk around collecting flowers, but it's going to be a massive, empty open world.
Of course it is.
And so while I love the open world thing of being cool, I actually get to explore this world that they've created, I have a horrible and, I want to say somewhat justified feeling that there's going to be hubs of activity, towns and cities and farms and stuff,
pretty standard,
and then just empty nothingness with maybe animals to hunt or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So
it's certainly what I was expecting as well, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's like, so it's an average for me having the big open world, because it's like big open worlds are great.
If you feel them.
Well, big open worlds are great, but smaller, more realistic lived-in worlds are way better.
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say on that. It's just the big open world. I think is going to be a very fun way to like get. If I buy this game, exploring the open world will be awesome.
Oh yeah, of course it will.
I think it'll be like visually stunning. Hopefully, it should be. But in terms of actually like walking around and spending time in that world, I think that's going to be a real dull thing. Yeah. And I think, unlike a lot of games like The Witcher and stuff, it's going to be one of those things like with AC Valhalla, where I was just kind of like, holy shit, can I please just fast travel now? I'm so sick and tired of just walking around this big empty fucking nothing.
Yeah, no, I get it. That makes sense.
Cool.
I'm hoping they do. Hopefully it's not too big. That's one of the downfalls, I think, of like Origin.
Oh no,
because there was nothing.
It's big. I've seen people have found the map. I've seen some stuff talking about the map. It's big. It's a big old chunk of Japan.
Fair enough then. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Hopefully it's good.
Moving on to our first character. Again, this falls into the average part. Mainly for one reason. I'll start with Noe. She's obviously our stealth character.
Of course, yes.
Probably the character I would mainly be playing.
I think I'd be doing the same, to be honest. That was my first thought.
I don't really have anything negative to say about Noe. Hidden Blade, love it. The only thing that kind of I went, oh, if she's our stealth character, and this is all from the trailer, I don't know how it'll change, but walking around with a giant sword on your back says, hey guys, I'm a killer.
Yeah, kind of.
And
does.
So that would be my one downside right now, is that
unless,
if I
of
want
course, as we're walking around, we see a lot of people with swords.
That wouldn't make a lot of sense.
I
don't know a great deal about historical Japan.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, much like most historical kind of medieval type things, whilst you might walk around with a weapon-ish thing, you wouldn't be walking around with a town with a giant sword on your back.
Yeah,
if it's anything like a lot of medieval history, once you were actually in towns, you had to kind of hand over your weapons.
Yeah, true.
Because the person with weapons is how trouble starts. True. Like, and people say, oh, but do you find this an issue in other games? Not really, and I don't even hate the fact that she's got weapons all over her. That's kind of the point of her being an assassin. Yeah. I just think if she's the stealth character, she doesn't need a giant fucking 6-foot sword on her back that looks bigger than her. What she needs is kind of a shorter, like, hidden sword type thing. And to put it in perspective, it's kind of like, you mentioned them earlier, Evie and Jacob Fry. Evie carried a sword, but it was a cane sword, so it looked like she was just carrying a cane. And I really enjoyed that.
No,
and then if we put it, like others, like, oh, well, what about Cassandra? Well, Cassandra was a literal mercenary.
Yeah.
True. It makes a lot of sense for her to have a sword and be covered in armor and stuff. But as I said, from what I can see, I don't really have any issues with Noe as a character. She's the one with the hidden blade, so obviously the better of the two.
Of course, yes.
I honestly don't know how it will work, because something that I've really not been a massive fan of in the open world Assassin's Creed games is the fact that when you try to stab someone with the hidden blade, sometimes you only do a section of damage to them. And it's like, no, I just wanted you to die stealthily.
Yeah.
Why are you still standing? It's like, you stab them and then they're like, oh! And turn around, look at you, and you're like, oh, fuck. Now I have to do that thing that I wasn't planning on doing, fighting you.
The whole thing was to, like, about the hidden blade was literally just to go past, stab. Even if they still somewhat lived by it, it was enough that it's like they didn't have time to say anything or do anything. It was just.
So I kind of hope the hidden blades are back to their like full lethal potential.
I hope so.
Where it's like even the toughest guy, if you sneak up on him and stab him with a hidden blade, he dies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so And of course, I said with the whole sword thing, that could just be like a part of like you can change that weapon, so it's like you can change it from a big heavy sword to like a smaller thing.
And
that would alleviate a lot of my problems with the whole stealth character carrying a giant sword around. That's
considering the last few games, it's literally been getting new weapons, changing them out. It makes sense.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about Yusuke, who is obviously the Brawn character, and you see this in the trailer when he literally smashes two dudes with his giant club.
Yes, and it seems like he's a distraction in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there's a lot to talk about here because of Yusuke being... Well, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but him obviously being an African in feudal Japan. And to be fair to Ubisoft, I actually didn't know he was a real person until the trailer came out, and then I did some research and went, oh, wow, that's quite an interesting story.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to comment on any of that. I will say this though.
There's a bunch of videos out that are commenting.
Yeah, if you no matter what side of this debate you fall on, whether he's fine because he's a real person or he shouldn't be there because you should just be an Asian dude, whatever, your opinion isn't going to change because someone on the internet said something about it.
No.
However, my own personal opinion is that I'm very interested that they added him to the story. Should he have been a main character? I don't believe so. Same way we didn't play as George Washington or any other of the actual real historical characters in any of the previous Assassin's Creed.
Makes
we
sense.
always played someone you could insert to, because if you have a real character, you kind of take away some of their real life agency by having someone do things that they never did.
True.
Now, that's enough on that, but I will also say this, that if you look at any of the Ubisoft stuff, it's like Noe and Yusuke are real life samurai. Like, everything ends with a real life samurai. I'm like, does that not Ubisoft give you an opinion that maybe you shouldn't have made him a main character, considering you have to constantly say, oh, no, but he existed in reality, so this is fine.
And I think that's why they did it, because the first videos I saw with people complaining about it, it's like, no, it shouldn't be that, because they only traded with these other places, so it's not logical that he was there. And it's like,
well, he was there, and that's the truth. We know he was there.
Yeah.
We don't know a great deal about anything else about him, but we know he was there. And as I said, like, okay, cool, he's in the story, he's going to be your Brawn character, he's kind of a giant samurai. I will say this, though, because this is a common part of the Assassin's Creed games.
Mm-hmm.
The more you laissez-faire... Did you get a blue one?
Week and a half ago?
Why?
Ideally, like, the bottles I had at work were screwed.
You have a black one.
Rusty. Yeah, basically taking that one to work.
You make no sense.
Oh.
Anyway, so my thing, so if you remember, this has been from the first Assassin's Creed all the way up into the later ones. If you just if you just kill a dude, you've got to like find witnesses and pull down posters and get rid of your wanted level so that you can just wander the streets without being attacked by the guards.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Yusuke should be playing like with the auditory cape from number 2 all the time.
Yeah.
Because, and I hate to be the person to point this out, but it's really easy to point the finger at the only black person in Japan.
Yeah.
Who killed this person? Him. Are you sure? Yeah. He's a 6-foot giant.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get past that one.
Yeah, so, that's probably my biggest issue, is that sure, he's a cool historical character. Sure, putting him in the game, like, I didn't know about him before he showed up in the game, and I did a little bit of research on
I think I heard a little bit about him, but I never fully looked into it.
But, like, for an Assassin's Creed game, it doesn't make sense to have, like, the most obvious person.
No, it doesn't.
Cool.
Not unless it's a situation that anyone who comes into contact with him or faces him
Constantly dies.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the only way he's getting away with it.
But that means there's going to be a lot of civilian murder.
Yeah.
Which would be a first for Assassin's Creed. And then, of course, well, that's kind of all the average.
Yeah.
And obviously the bad is just the price. Again, Ubisoft are just literally sitting there being like, hey.
And they're not giving much.
They're not giving much at all.
Because I believe I looked at it on the PC the other day.
Yeah, you probably get a digital book if you spend like $200.
A digital book and soundtrack. Oh, and then I looked at something else that was like, oh, hang on, you get this as well. Like, you get that and the other one, never mind.
Yeah, so like, as always, the price is the big thing. And this kind of comes back to the average is give or take, you know.
Yeah.
None of that will sell or deny me this game, but the fact that I don't have any good points about it, and I just have the fact that it is so horribly expensively priced and so greedily priced, where it's like, hey, get the season pass and get this, and oh, if you spend more money, you get access to the game earlier, and it's like, why? Because we want to make more money off you, and I'm like,
pretty much. That
kind of comes back to my big point, which is I'm not even 100% sure if I'm going to get this game. I missed Mirage. Mirage? Yeah, Mirage. I didn't buy Mirage.
It's kind of a silent, almost like one of those silent releases. You knew about it.
It wasn't. It was very much... Remember, that was the point in time where you weren't gaming at all. It was very much a thing where it was like, it's coming, it's almost here, we're back to our roots.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, well, you asked... Why are there 6 different editions of this? Why is there this? Why is there that? No, and it's just classic Ubisoft. And, you know, as I said, like, there's nothing really exciting me for this game. If I do play it, you know, as I said, I'll probably end up playing a lot of Noe, because that is just how I play Assassin's Creed games. Stealth it up.
Pretty much.
And if you can not stealth anymore, then add some more stealth.
Pretty much.
But, yeah, I just, with the price of the game and the greediness of it all, I just don't know if I even will bother. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do what I'm doing with Mirage and just waiting till it's $10 in a bargain bin somewhere and being like, let's check it out. Yeah. But, like, I can't see myself, like, I'm not excited for it. Like, I will drop $200 on a game. I've done it in the past, but I need to be excited for that game.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it.
Nothing exciting about
when it comes out. I'm not going to get it straight away. I'll look at it when it comes out and see what I see. Yeah. If it looks intriguing, I'll get it, but it won't be straight away. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's, you know, like it's just kind of what you would expect these days from Ubisoft.
Yeah,
a game that is largely.
That's it. Hopefully,
the other bad, because there was another big bad in this one for me, and that was that stupid line from the trailer. I have it written down here.
From what?
It's when the guy's in the forest, and it's like, "Who are you? Who do you work for?" And they're like, "We are the shadows that serve the light." And I was like, you hear that, and you just go, "That was written by some stupid ass writer who's so caught up in their own coolness that they're like, I've got the most perfect thing to say," and you're just like, "Oh, that's cringe. Oh, that's cringe."
Yeah.
Like, here's a good line, right? Someone says, "Who are you?" "Best delivery boys you'll ever meet."
We've used that one.
That's actually mine and Kris's line from our Star Wars role-playing game, where we often pretend to be delivery boys.
Yes, we do.
Because that gets you everywhere. And then
it does. It really
does. And then threaten
does.
people with guns all the time. They're like, "What are you doing?" "Best delivery boys you'll ever meet."
No, it's fine.
But yeah, no, that line was so cringe, and I was like, that's how you want to leave this trailer, with that piece of shit line. It's like you can almost feel the piece of shit writer who wrote that sitting there patting himself on the back, being like, "Oh, that was edgy and cool."
Yeah, everyone else being like, "Okay."
I feel sorry for the voice actors who had to say it. At least they only had to say a part each, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really bad. I really was,
and let's face it, they at least they said it in the correct order.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't say order is in who said first sort of thing. It's just she said shadow, which makes sense being the stealth.
No, he said shadow. She said.
Am I forgetting this?
You are. He goes.
Oh shit!
He backs into Yusuke, and Yusuke goes, "We are the shadow," and then she goes, "That serve the light," as she walks into the light, pulling down her hood. It's bad.
Oh yeah, that's in the wrong order.
It's bad.
It's 100% in the wrong order.
What, you don't think the guy who wears all gold is gonna do well in shadows?
Yeah, no, right? You fucking Jesus Christ.
No, but anyway, as I said, it'll be interesting to see how they also force you to do that switch. Because, like, if you can just play the whole game as one of those characters, it'd be like, okay, why even add the switch function?
Yeah.
But but also, again, if they force you to switch at points, it'll be like, why am I being forced to do this?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough on that. Let's talk about something else we did briefly mention last week, and I said I was kind of about it, and that is Star Wars Outlaws. I am very about Star Wars Outlaws. Okay, so if you know anything about me and Kris, we talk about it often. We actually play a Star Wars Outlaw game where we are characters in that world, and we do a lot of dice rolling.
Yes.
And we, you know, as far as I'm concerned, my character pretty much plays almost the exact same role as the main character in this game.
Similar, yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm more excited about
maybe a
my
better shot, from what I can tell.
I am a very good shot.
I have seen. I only noticed it once in the trailer where she actually shot something, and missed completely. Yeah.
But let's talk about it. So basically, things I like about the game. I really like the setting. I think it'll look beautiful.
Yeah, no, I did like that. Yeah,
I really like getting the chance to explore some classic Star Wars worlds. If you don't know anything about me, I'm a giant Star Wars nerd, and I'm almost half Star Wars encyclopedia at this point. When we are playing the Star Wars game with Caleb, I'm like, okay, Caleb, I have to ask you a question. Would it be possible for my character to know this fact? And he's like, oh, maybe not. It's like, okay, because I know that fact, and I'm really conflicted not acting on that fact.
Yeah, it happens.
But yeah, so like I know a lot about Star Wars, and I do like the idea of getting to travel that world.
It would be nice.
Okay, things that I thought was really bad. Obviously, again, we're starting with the price and the fact that you can buy literally in the trailer. They're going pre-order, and it's like, you haven't shown us anything of the game. No, but pre-order it right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that the game comes, the gold edition of the game comes with a Jabba the Hutt mission pack for day one, which means that they've built a part of the game that unless you spend more money, you're not getting. And that's kind of the worst thing you can do.
Pretty much.
In terms of other parts about it, some parts I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I've seen some, like, spaceship flying stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
I couldn't really tell if it was on rails and you were just kind of moving left and right and up and down and blasting things, or if it was actual full control of a starship. Don't know. Sorry, I didn't see that much of it. I've seen some of the, like, in-game gameplay where it's like you can command a little weasel monster to go and do things. And other than that, there's just a lot of kind of tropes where it's like, oh, quickly, you go do that so that you move this box so that I can jump on the hanging bot. And it's like, I'm like, okay, kind of want a Star Wars game, not a Uncharted game, but
yeah,
you know, I can't fully say anything until the game is out, but I am very much kind of angry about this game. Kind of where I am with all Star Wars media right now. Like, don't get me wrong, I love.
Let's face it, a lot of the, well, none of it was good, but a lot of the Star Wars stuff, at least a lot of the more recent ones, it's just in the universe. It's not. It's not what you would expect from Star Wars. It's just the universe.
But you know, like, I was a big fan of Fallen Order, and I own the new one. What's the new one called? Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, yeah.
I own that, and I have played the prologue pretty much. It's not that it's bad. I just own it on PC, and it's not a great port on PC.
No, see,
which means that sometimes. Well, I bought it on sale. Okay, give me a break.
Fine.
Plus, I don't have the Xbox One Series X. Sorry, I don't have the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Which means that I kind of was sitting there going, I either wait to buy this one when I get a Series X, which I'm not really 100% sure I'm going to upgrade to just yet, because I have the PC.
True. But when they keep releasing ports like that, it might actually be worth it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my big thing.
Yeah.
And plus, like when I get to Resident Evil 4 remake, I own that for the Xbox Series X. So
Yeah. Sounds right.
yeah, but like, so I don't know. Like, there seems to be quite a bit of Jedi Fallen Order kind of gameplay going into it, like the whole jumping and I'm just kind of like, cool. That's okay. That's not bad, but what have you got to stand on your own feet with? And
It'd be
even the
interesting
story is a bit blah to me. One last heist to take it all to score your freedom. Have we heard that before? I think we've heard that before.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that's Solo, the movie's plot.
Yeah.
There's also that point in GTA where you 5, which came out in 2013, so 11-year-old game that has a very similar plot point. You know, that last couple of missions. That's kind of what you're doing. So yeah, it hasn't done anything to wow me. It hasn't blown me off my feet. It hasn't shown me that it can stand on its own feet and that it's not just a very generic game using some Star Wars memorabilia to
that's kind of what I'm worried about. Is it just? I think
the best thing I saw was someone describing it as like, it looks like a game that's going to be a little bit bland, but don't worry, they've got that covered, because when it starts to get a little bit bland, hey, Boba Fett, hey, people you remember, hey, here's Han Solo and Carbonite. It's like, okay. Yeah. Hopefully that person is wrong. You know, I don't wish video games to fail, but at the same time, I'm not seeing a whole lot, especially from some of these AAA studios, to give me confidence in them actually putting out good stuff.
And I want it to work, because
the more good games are, the better.
There haven't been a lot of like really good games recently.
Well,
there's been a couple.
That's kind of where I sit, because I'm like, name some good games that have come out recently, and I'm sitting there going, I got a few, and then I kind of put them to paper and I go, but none of these are really big games.
Yeah.
They're all kind of smaller stuff, and I think that's the
Once
sad
we look at the
truth.
AAA stuff, it's
they're mostly blow.
Like the two games that I've looked at and I'm like, oh yeah, no, these will be good, and I know they are good, sort of thing. Came out over a year ago, which I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy the last 2 weeks. I'm really enjoying that one.
Yes, I will talk about that briefly.
Yes.
I was about the same as you, except I got it when it came out.
Yeah.
I played it for about 3 weeks, and then it kind of got repetitive, and I was like, okay, Mario.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone through it enough that it's not, it didn't feel repetitive, but I've finished the story now, so it's pretty much just, if I go through and finish it off, it's side quests and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I've done quite a lot of the side quests already, so I don't have a lot left, but definitely there's going to be a few things that are, like I've noticed the Merlin trials, it's like there's only like 4 or 5 differences to it.
Yeah.
So they do get repetitive, and 100% will. Outside of that, it's been pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was really, although I kind of took the more explorer's path, so
I've done quite a bit of exploring.
I saw a lot of the world and everything, and it was kind of like, oh, do this, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And the first time you do it's cool, and then the second time you're kind of like, oh, okay, and then the third time and fourth time, comes a point where you're just kind of like, okay, so I've got to go find this. Oh, hold on, what's challenge is going to? It's almost like, you know, the classic thing where it's like you're playing a game and your character walks into a place and you go, oh, this is an ambush.
Yeah.
And then it's like it plays a cutscene and your character's caught off surprise and you're like, why? Why are you caught? This is the 20th ambush in a place exactly like this. Why are you surprised anymore? I'm not surprised. Why are you surprised?
Pretty much.
And that's kind of what the game felt like to me. Don't get me wrong, I'll definitely go back and continue playing it because I did actually enjoy it. Yeah. But again, I think this is somewhere where I've probably gone download some mods to make the game better.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Like I said, I have enjoyed it. I did get to a point in the last, so basically yesterday, where I just stopped flying everywhere and doing all that. It was pretty much just, no, I'll just fast travel near it and then fly to it.
Yeah.
Whereas before, when I was initially playing it, it's like, no, I'm flying there. I will get there my own way.
Yeah.
But it's... Yeah.
And again, I think it also suffers from just being a pretty big open world that doesn't have a whole lot happening in it.
No, it's a couple of enemies here and there.
I think it would have been better if it was like the school was one map and then Hogsmeade was another map and then like there were smaller portional maps. But like a lot of them, to go to them, you actually had to be going there to do something, so it could like put proper enemies in that zone. Whereas a lot of the time I find myself just like traveling around and being like, oh look, there's a couple of goblins. Oh look, there's a couple of wizards. Oh look, there's a couple of dead things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh shit, 2 spiders attacked me.
What's new?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I get the repetitive side of it. Like, I definitely think I've hit the repetitive point of it, where I'm just like, no, this is getting repetitive. But I've also only just finished the story and everything, so...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, as I said, like, yeah. I guess that's just the thing with big games. They sometimes get repetitive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the last thing we kind of mentioned last week, and we said we would come back to, because we kind of mentioned it right at the end. That would be the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Tree.
Fuck's sake. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've since last week, I have watched the trailer for this DLC.
Yes.
And let me tell you, it looks good.
It does. It does look
But again, that is to be expected from this game. This game should look fantastic.
Oh, and it has. So up to, at least at this stage, it does.
Although I will say this, it does also kind of look incredibly washed out. Like I haven't actually played a lot of Elden Ring, because I've talked about this in the past. I put 2 hours into the game and got it.
No way.
Out the front door.
To a point that I forgot about entirely. Yeah. You look at that correctly. But from what I've seen of other people playing it and just like the clips that people put up in like the classic Elden Ring, I'm like, why is all the colours and everything look so grainy? It's just like a Dark Souls, like it's almost like there's a Dark Souls filter which they put on any Dark Souls game from software. I wouldn't be surprised.
And it's like, it makes the game look like, no matter how beautiful the game should be, it's like, it just makes it look a little bit more like it should be on the PS2.
Yeah, but I think it's up to a certain point. Oh, no. Because it gets darker and more grainy. Yeah. Because it's one of those things.
But yeah, so like, it looks fantastic. I love the big kind of like the, like, I think the idea is that there'll be a big fight war going on. I don't know.
A big fight war, eh?
Big fight war.
Oh.
Which is different to normal Elden Ring, as I understand, because even though there are soldiers around, there is no big fight war happening.
No.
So, maybe it'll be a big fight war going on, and, I don't know whose side we'll take, but sides will be taken.
Maybe
other
that's
than
one of our choices.
I have no idea about how this fits into the main game at all. Like, I don't know any of the lore about the main game. I don't know any of the characters from the main game. I don't know any of the characters that it mentions in the trailer. I don't know what the fucking thing's got to do with magic flying fire snakes. Or giant walking fire braziers.
Yes.
I'm like, brazier, but...
Yeah, I was going to say.
They look like tits.
How?
There were 2 big conical things standing next to each other.
For fuck's sake.
Anyway, no. The point that I'm trying to make there is that I have no idea what's going on with that. And that's about all I have on that, because I was like, it looks stunning.
It does.
There's this whole cool war thing happening where like a bunch of dudes are just stabbing everyone with spears, and then there's more spears, and I'm like, not sure how that's going to translate into the game though. Like, are you going to come and just like see the aftermath of what was happening there, or are we actually going to participate in that battle?
I don't think it's going to be participating in the battle. I honestly don't think so.
I don't know. You could jump into a giant flaming brazier. Brazier. But
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's face it, knowing Dark Souls players, that's exactly what they would do. Don't worry, I think I figured out how to take this thing down. Oh, no, it turns out it's dead, and then there'll be like a million fucking red dots being like, just jump off here, follow me, and then you'd be like, no, because that looks like death down there. It's like, yeah, but all of the players do it eventually. It's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Dark Souls players confuse me.
They want to kill each other.
They don't want to kill each other, they want to kill themselves.
No, they want you to kill yourself.
They're the type of person that gets their nuts stuck in a mousetrap and goes, okay, so how many more can I get in? They don't look there and go, I need to fix this. They go, I think I can do more.
Okay, yeah, fair. I don't do that, by the way. No.
But yeah, no, as I said, it looks good. I kind of want to know what's happening with the story there. Like, if you get to partake in a heated battle between giant fire army versus what I could only assume are the standard guys you've been running around murdering for the last God knows how long.
About a time.
2 years.
No,
and you like just get to come in and be like, well, it came out in February 2022, so over 2 years now.
Oh, you're talking about actual? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Then, like, okay, cool. Or maybe, in classic From Software go fuck yourself style, what they'll do is drop you in the middle of that and be like, oh yeah, by the way, these guys hate each other, but they absolutely despise you. So, like,
that's gonna happen.
They'll be killing the shit out of each other and see you, and they'll be like, hey, stop, fucker. And everyone will turn and it'll be like, oh, fuck.
It's 100% what's going to happen.
Everyone.
Yeah.
You're going to be a one-man ecological disaster. Just like me.
It's 100% what's going to happen.
But yeah, no, I'm very interested because, like, they kind of promised a giant war with the dude who has firepower. Like, literal
he does.
Magical fire power.
You can do that too.
Yeah, I know, but aren't you supposed to be cool and gold and not flamey? I don't know much of Elden Ring. But I can tell you that I know that flamey is bad.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Fucking weird though. Are we gonna see some fan favorite characters come back, like the horse thing?
He has no idea.
I
can tell you who will come back.
Who?
Fucking Patches. He's gonna try to kill you again.
He might actually be the leader of the Flame Army.
Wouldn't surprise me. Once you dead.
No, he wouldn't. He'll just be like, hey, come here.
Come here, have a look at this, and then push you off a fucking edge.
No, he'll be like, come here, look at this. And you'll like walk over and be like, okay, there's no edges near to push. And then he'll be like, push you out into the street, and you'll turn, there'll just be like two armies about to collide. 30,000 guys, and they'll be like, we'll fight after we get this idiot. And you'll go, turn to run back, and he'll like close the door, and you'll be like, shit, doors, my one weakness. Guess I kill 30,000 dudes now.
Well, there's one of the things he did in this. You go open one of the chests, and he's done something to it, so it teleports you into another, basically a dungeon.
Oh.
Where he said if you do it early enough, you dropped into the high level stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. He wants you dead.
Yeah, so, like, classic fan favorites are, like, the girl who whispers at you a lot. Will she be back? Who knows?
I like your effort here. I like your effort.
Look, one day I'll play Elden Ring, but only when I have time.
So it's going to be quite a long time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If you want me to play Elden Ring, get more people to subscribe to the channel. Because once this becomes my job,
that will be one of the playthroughs.
I'll have all the free time in the world. Because I won't have to use my free time to do this.
Oh, yeah, fair point.
Because it'll be my job.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then I'll have free time. And I can finally play Elden Ring
Okay.
and other things.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I have a whole bunch of The Sims to play.
For about 2 weeks, and then you'll drop it again.
No, 2.5 days. That's how long it takes me to generally build most of a house. And I'm like, okay, excellent. Time to decorate. But no,
I'm not fucking surprised on that.
I just have no commitment to it. But yeah, no. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the whole Elden Ring thing. I can tell you one thing. Kris will play it. He'll play anything.
No, that's incorrect.
The other day, I caught him playing a dead rat.
No, I didn't.
He was just sticking his
It's been
fingers
quite
in
a while
his
since I've
face.
seen a dead rat. Thank you very much.
That's because Itachi eats them all.
Probably.
Probably does. He is a monster. Oh, actually, I saw a short that I found really funny.
Okay.
It was it was just someone filming their dogs, and they had their German Shepherd lying there, all sad. It's like, this is my 55-pound, obviously American, ex-military bomb defusal dog that is sad because a mean dog tried to take its toy away, and then like flips around, and it's like a little dog, kind of like Charlie. And it's like, this is the dog that scared that mean dog away. I was like, yeah, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. No. I've been watching quite a few shorts lately because
I generally do.
I just get into a roll of them where it's like I watch something because it's like Jimmy Carr, and then the next one's like Taskmaster, and then the next one is like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle. And Jimmy Carr is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It helps that he doesn't really care about being politically correct.
It's kind of his whole thing.
Yeah.
He even has a joke about it.
He does. He does. Oh, man.
He has a joke about next time he gets cancelled, he's going to come out and say, I'm sorry. And when people say, you don't really mean that, he's going to go, wait, you mean I can say something and not mean it?
I do remember that one.
Classic. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But yeah, no, that's kind of, I think that catches us up on what we promised we would talk about last week.
Yes, it does.
It also very much puts us at the end of the podcast filming length.
It does.
Which is convenient. Because it means we don't have to talk about shit like our real life. But to give you a little bit of an update on our real life, last weekend we had some friends. That's the end.
Yeah. We lost them. How bad.
I keep telling Kris, don't take new friends to the river. That's where the crocodiles are. But he keeps taking them and we keep losing.
But they want to be fed.
No, we had some friends over. Well, I say we. I had some friends over. We had a barbecue. Kris cooked it. Because I'm sick. And I was like, you got two options. Kris cooks or I cough all over the food.
Yeah, I was just like sitting down. It's like, oh, by the way, Kris is cooking. Like, oh, what? What?
Yeah,
when was I being told?
Fucking on it. And yeah, then we played some board games, and then
We played one game.
well, we played some games of that one game.
No, did.
And then we had a good time.
Yeah.
For the most part, it was good. And then everyone kind of went home because that's what adults do.
Yeah.
And then
Ended a reasonable hour.
oh, it was great. Everyone was like off by like 9:30, and it was like cleaned up, finished up, and I was like, it's not even 10 o'clock yet.
Yeah. Worked out well.
Whereas, you know, like, fucking back in the 20-year-old days, it'd be like, yeah, we can still keep drinking. It's like 8 of you are passed out. One of you, I'm fairly sure, is not breathing. Drink again. Just put it in the mouth. And you're like, okay, well, fuck. You guys gonna, like, help me clean up tomorrow? Fuck no, we'll be fucking dead. Okay, because you're now throwing bottles all over the place. You're making a mess now, thank you. Whereas, like, you know, our friends from Saturday night, they were just like, they were neat, they were tidy, they cleaned up after themselves.
Oh, it was great.
Having adults as friends is great.
It is. It really is.
God. No, but we had a good time.
No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Yeah.
that wraps us up for the day. If you have liked the video, consider liking, commenting, sharing, and if you haven't already, maybe even subscribe. Join the wave.
Yes.
And, you know, if you want to see more videos from me and Kris, we do the podcast every week. So, apart from the 2 times we've missed it, we have missed it twice. One of them, I was almost dead, and one of them, you were sick.
Also almost dead.
He's lying. He wasn't almost dead. I was almost dead.
Swear I was.
He's trying to steal my thunder.
No, I have stolen your thunder.
If you want to see some of our other things, because we do other things.
It's a shocker, but we do.
We've got some gaming videos. You can check them out. If you like a little bit of GTA, we've got that.
We do now, yes.
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Minecraft. We've got it all. We do what we like.
A bunch of different genres, really.
We have so much variety.
We do.
So check it out. But guys, until next time, I've been Darcy. He's been Kris. As always, thank you for joining us. And once again, goodbye.
See ya.
See you later, guys. Fuck yeah, let's roll. Yeah, we just sit first. Did I close all the doors? Did I close all the doors?
Maybe.
I don't think I closed all the doors. Roller, be a roller. Now I got you in my space. Won't let go of you.
Fucking hell.
Hi, at least I'm not hula hooping in front of you.
Wearing
a onesie that hides nothing.
That's not super tight. It's just tight enough.
I'm wondering if it would be better if it was super tight. There'd be less movement but more definition.
See, we got the in between areas. It was just tight enough to get enough definition, and then there's still heaps of movement.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that season.
Whereas if it was a lot looser, there would have just been a lot of movement. You still probably would have seen it occasionally.
Anyway, clap again.
Did you blind yourself with that one?
I think I got air into my eyeball.